Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. Before we start, just a quick disclaimer, anything we discuss, anything we talk about is just for educational purpose only, nothing is financial advice. Alright guys, after yesterday market dropped, a big bounce on the market, big bullish day, and we were right on the top of it because there was two huge news today that we're gonna cover when we go do the recaps. Solid day, and Ripster clouds were big today. MTF clouds were huge today for us for a lot of trades. Before we start, let's do a quick introduction. Let's do a quick introduction. If anybody is new to our X accounts, new to our YouTube, or new to our community. All these trade recaps and all these teachings is based upon our system, a Ripster cloud system that thousands of traders use. They use this system to trade across the world. You can find a lot of traders who use the system every day to trade consistently in the stock market and be profitable in the stock market. We trade also in the community using this system. All the teachings that I have been teaching for years, you can go check ripstereducation.com, see the teachings I have been doing free for many years, how many lives it has changed. We also do it in our community. Our community Tenet group is the largest, one of the largest online educational trading, live trading community with one of the largest trading floors. So we make a plan every morning. We make a plan. System is how you trade, setup is what you trade. In the pre-market, half an hour before the market open, I make this plan live in the community, and we go through all the plays, something which has news, something which is just a technical play, index stocks, upgrades, downgrades, which were huge today, and we make a plan. We make a support level, resistance level. We take a look if it's an MTF setup. If you don't know what MTF setup is, watch my other videos or check my educational website. Then we make an initial game plan and we follow the game plan. All day long we are focused on these names that we trade using the system, and we can always change our bias, but I highlight the important plays in red so the traders can focus on the important plays. Most of these plays were solid runners for us. We'll recap those as well. In addition to that, we also trade something called day 2 day 3 strategy. This is another one of our repeatable strategy that we use to trade. I did a free webinar on this strategy as well. So that strategy helps us to trade the names which ran yesterday or day before, and we'll talk about few of those that really did pretty well today for us. We also share daily levels for the ETFs, index stocks, Mag 7, so the traders can use the guidance and the Ripster cloud system to trade it. We trade futures as well. Big day on futures today. QQQ Nasdaq futures was a big trade. You can pause the screen and see how these levels panned out. These levels were spot on to trade the futures, and of course I did a futures webinar for the traders as well. We trade a lot of other stuff. We trade low floors, we trade IPOs. We have dedicated room for that. In the community, I'm usually on the voice at the market open. First few hours of the market open, I'm on the voice. Then I'm around most of the day, but most of our trades are usually in the first few hours. We have a lot of tools in the community. We have 3 option flow scanners, we have stock scanners, we have multiple screen shares, halt unhalt alerts, order flow scanner, breaking news alerts, audio breaking news squawks. We have tools worth $500-600 which are free for the community members to use. Our breaking news is the fastest. The news alone has pays for a lot of our setups that we trade. And anyways, I have my dedicated channel as well, and we have a trading floor with thousands of traders sharing trade ideas all day long, trading the system, not the gut feelings. Everything is per the system. I'm on the live screen, the setups are on the live screen showing those traders those setups. No hindsight, always we do everything live in the community. We'll cover the winners, we'll cover the losers, so that you guys can learn and you can also implement trade with a system and find success in the stock market. So that was a quick introduction. Let's start the recap. All right, so before we start, let's take a look what was hard today. What was happening today? Today there was a bunch of there were a bunch of bullish stuff happening in the morning. I tweeted about that NVDA and Elon partnership. So there was a NVIDIA and Elon partnership, and then what we had was we also had the upgrade on Taiwan Semi, upgrade on AMD, upgrade on Dell, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, pretty bullish on all of these names. So everything this came together and made the market bullish, right? We dipped yesterday on that Oracle news, but today we knew the semis our main focus. Semiconductors are main focus. The semiconductors can run. Semiconductor artificial intelligence infrastructure can run. That's why I made all these setups red in the pre-market. NVIDIA red, Taiwan Semi red, AMD red, Dell red, because these were all the semiconductor plays which have higher chances to push. Of course, NVIDIA had a huge news as well, so we'll recap the NVIDIA as well. But let's start with one of our top plays in the community. Let's start with Dell. So Dell was upgraded by JP Morgan with 165 price target. So Dell artificial intelligence semi infrastructure play, support was 152, resistance was 153. I told the traders day 2 bullish, long versus 152. So that was the plan, to long it versus 152 in the market. So let's take a look here. Not only Dell, even SMCI ran a lot today. We'll take a look at that as well. SMCI also ran. If you look at the pre-market planning on SMCI, long over 55, 44, 55, 74. So SMCI also similarly ran over that breakout from, since it broke those levels, ran up huge. But talking about Dell, so let me show you a time stamps guide. As soon as the market opened, I saw the strength. Right away, I told the traders it's a long. I told the traders to put their stops at 154. So you put your stops at 154, you long at 156, you're risking $2. By the end of the day, we made $10. So risk $2, we made $10. So I told the traders as we started to move up, move the stops break even. First target I gave was 160, and then second target I gave was 162. We logged 30% as we pushed towards the 160, and we did hit our 162 target as well. My final target was 165, and by before 10:30 we hit that 160 target. It pulled back, held the clouds, and pushed again, and then finally when it broke these 512s right here, that's when we exited the trade. Our final stops were 116. It did give another trade as well. If you look at this level, when I gave the stops at 161, it kind of reclaimed, right? You get out here, it was a reclaim. It's called 512 reclaim. You can trade it again when this happens. This is one of our repeatable concepts. This is called, trap the bears thinking it's dropping, but then it reclaims the bullish clouds and then it goes again, right? So you could get back in, or you could use the 161 stops to hold it, but ideally you want to get out here and you want to get back in here. You could trade with the shares. You're trading 100 shares on that, you're risking $200, you're making $1,000 for the day. If you like to trade the options, 160 calls where we were discussing the community, that went from like $1.50 all the way to $7, almost a 600% return. You could trade those worth $1,000 and you could easily make $5,000 off that. So it's all about the system, what system you want to trade. So anyways, no hindsight, like I said, pre-market planning on Dell, bullish bias versus long, JP Morgan. So always remember it. The sector is hot. There's an upgrade. Chart is bullish. Take it long. Tier 1, right? JP Morgan. Whenever they say something, you listen. So that's how you trade. That's how you use the system. There was also resistance here. Make sure you pre-plan the pre-market. There was a daily breakout as well happening here. It was a beautiful, beautiful trade. Dell for us, a very profitable trade. Let's go to the next one. All right, so next one we're going to talk about is the Taiwan Semi. So Taiwan Semi was also one of our main plays in the community. Let's look at the game plan. The plan on Taiwan Semi was bullish bias over calls and MTF to long. Bullish bias over calls and MTF to long. So as soon as it started to push over the MTF, even before that, I told the traders to long and watch the MTFs, and pushed over the MTF and we pushed to 300. I told the traders to sell some at 300. We moved the stops at break even. Then I told we will break out over 300 and we will push more. The target I gave was 302.30 as our next target, and we did hit that 302.30 target as well. I told the traders to hold it for 305 and we hit 305 as well. So you can see that almost $9 per share profit if you're risking under the clouds, right? You could always trade this 10 a.m. flag breakout, but this was MTF Cloud. Whenever something pushes over MTF Cloud on the news, it's a really, really, really good setup. You can see how Taiwan Semi has been running again. Semiconductors bullish today, bullish news on NVIDIA, upgrades across the board, becomes an A plus setup. You hold it, hold it, hold it. And what a beautiful trade. You do not cut until the Ripster clouds fail. That was a beautiful trade on Taiwan Semi. All right, so next one we're going to discuss is AMD. So the thing we want to talk about AMD is, it was a day 3, right? We were trading the 30-minute chart. I also tweeted about it as well. You can see that there was a buyer at 206 initially, held to 202s, then there was a support at 210, 210, 210. So as long as it was holding that 210, it was a long, right? So let's take a look what was our plan in the pre-market that we made for AMD. Let's go to the AMD pre-market plan here. So let's take a look. It was upgraded again, and then day 3 long over pre-market highs, break bearish under 210. So it was a long over pre-market high as soon as it pushed over this 216 level. And if you see that, that's exactly the level I was giving the traders, 216. As soon as we pushed, it becomes a long. You buy the calls, you buy the shares, and your first target is always the yesterday highs and the recent highs. And that was let me show you the guidance here. 220 was the first target, 220, 250 next target. We hit that target, and then as we started to move up, I told the traders to move your stops to 219, and you see the 219 stop held, and AMD continued to run all day long. I did tweet about it as well in the morning that the plan is working, and AMD went on to pay really well for us. If you want to see that, I did mention that setup. You can see how clean this setup is. And yeah, so that was these big names, guys. The opportunities like this, you all just need to find a risk level. You have a risk level, you take it long. Dell, Taiwan Semi, AMD, other semiconductors went as well. I talked about SMCI, AVGO was a beautiful trade as well. NVIDIA was also long for us. If you look at the plan on NVIDIA was 1 hour MTF setup if SAM is bullish. So what is 1 hour MTF setup? This is the 1 hour MTF setup. And NVIDIA was also a great trade for us in the community, right? So this is how you need to find those big high confidence trades, guys. We'll talk about Spy QQ as well. This is how you nail these names on the bullish sector, bullish news and upgrades. So the next one we're going to look at is CRWV. Let's see what was our plan on CRWV. Let's take a look at our plan here. What was our pre-market plan on CRWV? So CRWV was one of our top day 2 plays, right? Top day 2 plays, long over 1 hour MTF. I'm always watching whenever there's a 1 hour MTF setup. That's my go-to setup. So we were long on CRWV at the open, versus 132 risk. We did push to 137, but then we stopped out right here at the 512. Then came a midday setup, which was 3450 reclaim setup. So you could get long back here over the MTFs. You see here, you get back long here, you put your stops lower this candle 132s, $2 risk, you can take it back to the 141s. We did stop out, but there was this midday setup as well. Our stops hit earlier you can see the timestamp guidance on the longs. Sometimes it will happen. That's why sometimes we go to the 30-minute chart and see what the 30-minute chart is telling us. You see 30-minute chart was still holding the clouds. It was just a big candle that stopped a lot of people out, but you could get back on this is a midday repeatable setup. It happens many times. It's not the first time, and you can, because CRWV is also the same sector as Dell, SMCI and all that. Next one, we're going to look at Netflix. Netflix was a really good setup, but at the open it chopped us little bad. We could have done a better execution holding the MTFs, but let's take a look on Netflix here. So plan on Netflix, it was our technical setup. Double MTF. So double MTF means there's a 20 MTF, there's a 50-50 on the daily. So that's why we're taking long over 1200 level, trade NFXL, bullish over double MTF. So that was the plan. So you see that in the morning I told the traders to long Netflix, and we pushed higher, and we did stop out when it broke this level because I knew it could pullback. Then it came again, it gave a 10 a.m. longs, right? Again it gave 10 a.m. longs, and it pulled back, reclaimed, ran. So it was very choppy. So again, it was a kind of a loser for us. We got it chopped up. Could have played it a little better, but the bias was correct, the thinking was correct, the setup was correct. If you see that double MTF long setup still worked, but it was very choppy. There was no news on it. It was just a technical play. If you look at the 30-minute chart, you could still see that it kind of worked out, but it was a morning loser for us on Netflix. And if you can see that if you traded NFXL, which is the leverage ETF, it was a little better, but still kind of a choppy trend to trade that. So that was on Netflix for us today. Let's go to the next one. So next one we're going to take a look is ASTS. So ASTS was our morning loser, but it was, I knew that this can happen, because let's take a look here on ASTS. So ASTS extended on daily chart. It was cautious of profit taking, long over 512. So we knew that a profit taking can happen because ASTS has been running crazy. You always look at the daily charts, right? When something is running like this, straight up, there's always a risk of profit taking. So we were long when this broke out. I told the traders to long, put the stops on 87.50, but then right away it dumped, and we lost on that one. We lost almost $3 per shares, but but we got out here on ASTS. So that was our loser there on ASTS. All right, let's look at some other plays here. Let's look at NNE, just from the game plan, showing you the power of the MTF clouds. NNE did an offering, long over 53, short under MTF. Watch the nuclears. So you see that it could never push over the MTF, and that was an MTF short, faded all day. It was good scalp. You could trade that today following the MTF clouds. Let's look at MSTR. MSTR was also a day 2 setup. It was also a day 2 short. Whenever something makes a big move a previous day, you see yesterday was a double MTF short here under the MTFs, rejected the MTFs in the pre-market, and it was a short all day. A lot of traders were trading MSTR in the community, and they really killed it. It was just easy setup. Always makes moves a good range. And you can see that how the traders in the community were all on top of MSTR, super heavy Corgi, SM, SM was on top of it. So it was a decent short trade today with the system on MSTR. So looking at FIG was our day 2 setup. Let's look at a day 2 plan here. So FIG was, it has been running. It has a nice bullish daily chart, but that's why I had it on my day 2 setup. You can see that FIG was a daily breakout right here on the daily chart. So as long as it pushes over these highs, which was the level I gave in the pre-market, continue to push all day long. These IPOs usually move crazy, so you always take a look at that. A lot of traders were on FIG, Demi was on FIG, Demi Paul was on FIG, Zag. A lot of traders were trading. Tamarind was on FIG. So yeah, so FIG was a good one. Not my personal guidance there, but proud of the traders who killed it from our pre-market plan. Look at SPY QQQ. So SPY QQQ, QQQ was bullish right after the gate because NVDA had news, but then SPY turned bullish mid of the day. SPY turned bullish at 10 a.m. This is called a 10 a.m. longs. SPY was heavy, QQQ bullish. QQQ was MTF long. Also on the Nasdaq futures, I told the traders MTF long. You can see the plan in the pre-market on the SPY QQQ. We watched the MTF setup. I told the traders in the pre-market, no long under MTF, only long if VIX breaks down and MTF pushes, otherwise bearish bias. So you see that VIX broke down under that 17 level. So when VIX breaks under 17 level, it's time to long. QQQ was long, SPY was long, just worked as per the pre-market planning. And it was the MTFs, this here. You take a long at 10 a.m., put your stops here. The calls went 100%. You could buy the calls. You could trade leverage ETFs, SPXL, QLD, and there was a money to be made on SPY QQQ all day. QQQ much better than SPY because semis were strong, tech was strong, and you could see QQQ ran all day 100% ATR. Always use the 100% ATR to trade that. So that was QQQ. Was a decent move. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Let's look at Tesla here. Tesla was just a morning at the open short for us. Let's take a look here. So Tesla was amateur short right at the open, and it flushed from 436 to 425. Our first target I gave was 428. Then I said leave 50%, and then we hit over 425. And then it started to bounce and then it became choppy. The curls didn't work, were not that clean, but you could see there was opportunity to short it, and then it reclaimed. We'll be watching it tomorrow what it does, but that was Tesla for us. All right guys, thank you, take care.